back to Mic Mayhem. My name is Joey, and today's topic, weddings. Weddings have always been a point of controversy. Alright, so let's start off with the first one. Being called. Am I the asshole for considering not going to my sister's wedding? I don't want to go to her wedding because she decided to invite both my dad and my aunt, aka his sister. My aunt just dropped some photos with my dad and his new wife over the holidays, and my mom was very triggered. And my sister does not want to pick sides. So she just playing the neutral part and trying to invite everybody and assuming that my mom and I just put up with it when my dad left us in such a savage state. He cheated on my mom and that left us in financial ruins. My sister didn't get affected because she, luckily for her, found a job immediately after graduating from grad school and was living with her boyfriend. I didn't get so lucky and moved back home, where I was looking for a job for over a year. During this time, I had to witness my mom struggle and make ends meet. The mortgage payments were bouncing because my dad was draining their one and only joint account and spending it on this other woman and basically neglecting our home. They ended up selling it out. And years later, my mom is still recovering financially from this divorce. I don't even want to be in the same room with this guy. His sister, my aunt who posted the photos, and his parents are all co-signing this behavior and pretending like this is acceptable. My sister is trying to play neutral, worried about the pushback I will get for not wanting to go to my sister's wedding merely because she's your sister. You have to go. Just suck it up for one day and support her. When I know full well that if she had been in this situation, she would have not been okay with it. Reeks of the lack of empathy to me. My boyfriend also thinks blow up my relationship with my sister and he thinks I will regret it as she is my only sibling. I argue that my boundaries should matter too, but he thinks I'm doing this purely out of anger. Let's think over it. Your sister is going to get married and she invites your dad, which is also her dad. I understand you feel a grudge towards your father because he cheated on you, left your mom and you for that matter in a crucial state, and you're still recovering from that. I understand you hold a grudge, and I do understand that you want to make a point, but you're doing it on a day that's very important to your sister, which is neglecting her wedding, and therefore I think you're the ass. Let's see what the top comment has to say. Is your mother going to the wedding? How big is the wedding? Regardless, I think that gently, you're the asshole. Your father is a much bigger asshole, of course, and what he did to you and your mother is terrible. But your sister is allowed to decide she wants to pursue a relationship with him. She's not an asshole for inviting him. Your boyfriend is right that if you don't go, it will be a devastating blow to the relationship with your sister. If the wedding is more than, say, 50 people, you will be able to avoid your father. Think of it this way. What's bigger, your love for your sister or your hatred for your father? I hope it's the love for your sister. OP responded to that, but they deleted the account, so I couldn't see their comment. All the other comments are in the line of you're the asshole. So to another story that has a very interesting title. It's a 3-year-old story, but hey, here we go. Am I the asshole for calling my wife insecure and selfish on our wedding day? Now, by the title alone, I would say you're the asshole. Because why would you call your wife insecure on supposedly the best day of your life? But let's see. Oh boy, I see these ages and I'm thinking, pretty young, but sure, you know. Let's continue on. We'll start reading. I, 28 male, and my wife, 26 female, got married last Wednesday, and the ceremony was amazing. My wife was very strict on the fact that no guest is allowed to wear white, which is understandable because for females that's considered rude or bad luck at the weddings, I think. The reception was going well too, until I noticed my wife walking over to the bathroom with her face held in her hands. Obviously, I could tell my wife was upset, so I rushed across the room. Once I go to the bathroom, I knocked on the door and informed my wife that it was me at the door. After a few minutes, I heard the door unlock and open. When I got in, I saw my wife sitting on the floor with mascara running down her cheeks. I asked what was wrong, and she told me that one of her nephews was wearing white jeans and a white bow tie. I immediately thought to myself how she was completely overreacting because he is a 6-year-old child. and had no idea that you can't wear white to a wedding. I told her she was overreacting, but in a much nicer way than I said it here. I said that she should enjoy the reception and forgot about the whole thing. She eventually texted her sister to come to the bedroom and fix her makeup so she could go back out and have a good night. After a while, I saw her talking to my sister, the mom of our nephew, and I thought she was just making conversation. About an hour later, my sister pulled me aside and berated me for my wife's behavior. She said that my wife asked her and her son to leave unless she had a change of clothes for him. This was far from okay to me. So I asked my wife to talk and explain everything my sister told me. My wife said she was completely in the right for what she asked, and I told her that if she kicks my family out, then I will happily leave too. My wife started crying again and saying that this is her day and she doesn't want it to be ruined by our nephew. This angered me because I had enough of her ruining our day over something silly. I then said she was not only selfish, but that she was insanely insecure if she worried about a 6-year-old looking better than her. My wife's been staying with her mother since the wedding, and we haven't spoken once. Her mom reached out to me this morning and said that I needed to apologize right away for being out of line. I really don't believe that I am in the wrong here. What do you think? Am I the asshole? This one took me for a ride because at the beginning of the story I was like, yeah, you're the asshole because what would you say to your wife? She's insecure on her wedding day. And of course, the topic wedding brings out a lot of drama, trauma, and other responses. And I understand that people don't want you to wear white because it's your day, that you don't want your day ruined by someone else wearing a white out. Totally understand. But on the other hand, the child is 6. So I do understand the husband for telling her, hey, it's a 6-year-old child. He is not going to steal your spotlight. I understand that. But I do lean to everyone sucks here because he was a bit out of line. By the way he wrote it, he came off very strong. His reaction, so I would say, therefore, he sucks. He's the asshole. And understandable. The wife is a bit insecure about a 6-year-old, but then it's her wedding, so I'm kind of torn on that. So let's see, to clear up my mind, if someone in the top comments has something to say. Someone says, not the asshole, Jesus, it's a 6-year-old in a bow tie. Did she really think that people would confuse him for the bride? Is she 3 feet tall and was she wearing a bow tie? She was insecure and selfish. It wasn't her day. It was both of your days. And she ruined it by throwing a tantrum. If you like these stories about weddings so far, don't forget to like and subscribe. I might be asking for telling my daughter's dad she isn't going to his wedding because of the way I found out about it. Very curious. I, F, 26, broke up with my ex-daughter's dad, 25, male. 3 years ago, we were together 5 years. Had our daughter, 6F, after 2 years together. Good co-parenting and don't really talk about everything outside our child. He's been dating fiancée 25F for almost 3 years. He didn't tell me about him dating her for 3 years. Things changed. The fiancé announced their engagement. I only know because I saw it on her social media. She and I have been friends on social media for over 10 years, but X and I aren't friends. Right before this, he told me that he could not financially support his daughter for a while. He pays child support, but we have never gone to court. He told me it's because he was moving into a new job field. I said, that's great and fine. Days later, I opened social app to see an expensive looking ring. I was annoyed, but things were civil, so I said nothing. Fast forward, a few months later, his mom texted me to say she would take our child on this day, but not all of his days. He texted me after that he was busy. It's less than 24 hours before he was supposed to have her, so I figured something must have come up. I made arrangements to be home instead. It was only until a few days later that I started seeing vacation photos on his fiancé's Facebook. Next was word vomit. When his next time to have our daughter came, I let him have it. I told him he could have let me know in advance he was going out of town, that he had to have known for weeks ahead, and how disrespectful he used his mom to communicate instead of coming to me. I said it's a pattern. He also didn't tell me about his plan to marry and involve his daughter. His response: his fiancée wasn't getting any legal rights to our daughter. Why did it matter? I asked, is it important for a daughter to gain a stepmom? Is it important that you tell me about important things going on in our daughter's life? The conversation really went nowhere, and his fiancée blocked me, which spoke volumes. Not only do we think you should have found out like this, you shouldn't have found out at all. In the end, I told him our daughter wouldn't attend his wedding, as far as she knows. The reason she isn't going to the wedding is because we have a trip planned for the day, and they don't even have a set wedding date, because they are due with a new child now. I've raised our daughter almost solely. Even when he and I were together, I've been there for all of her important events, and I fear he'll go behind my back and I'll miss seeing her at the first wedding, and even potentially being a flower girl for the first time. I would not be able to help her dress or do her hair or see her walk down the aisle, all which means a great deal to me to be witnessing. Please tell me, am I the asshole? My friends tell me I'm not. Everyone else tells me I'm being selfish and punishing them for no real reason. And his family says I've caused them to postpone the wedding. I feel bad, and I'm still firm in my decision. Now, seeing as you split, you can't make demands to know if he's dating or not. I understand that it was a bit of a nuisance that he went out of town and didn't tell you. Of course. And I understand you want to be part of this experience of her being a flower girl, your daughter being a flower girl and everything, but how many weddings do you go to in your lifetime that specifically ask for your daughter to be a flower girl? If she even gets that opportunity, she'll be lucky that she will receive that opportunity with your ex, which is also her dad. And if you really want to have like child payment, why not go through court? Then go to court. I understand it's expensive, and it's easy for me to say because I don't have a similar situation, but you seem a bit jealous, and the way you wrote it makes me feel like you're the asshole. Because you're taking away an experience or a part of your daughter's life. In this case, her dad being happy. I understand you raise her solely, but her dad is also an important factor in her life. So therefore, by excluding her from her dad, you are the asshole. Let's see what a top comment has. You're the asshole to your daughter for letting the asshole get out of paying child support. Another comment saying, you're the asshole for not going to court to get the child support. Last comment I'll read says, look, co-parenting is a bitch. Take him to court and get annual child support ordered and stop messing around. That said, you're the asshole if you prevent your daughter from attending your father's wedding just because you are simply feeling pissy. And there you have it. Before we go to our next story, don't forget to like and subscribe and let me know what you should do in these situations. Last story is called, Am I the Asshole for Leaving the Dry Wedding Early to Go Out? Now, by the title alone, I got a lot of thoughts racing through my mind, but we should read this. So, 2 weeks ago, I, 35F, went to a wedding in our college town for a member of a college friend group. My husband and I left the kids with my parents and we went. We go to V-Rope with another couple I went to college with for a few days. My husband and I don't have a ton of time to ourselves away from the kids, so we were excited to get loose. On the invitation, it said a wedding went to 11 with an after party with the bride and groom at the venue. The venue was a gorgeous mansion and the bride and groom had it for the night. They were leaving for the honeymoon the next morning. Cut to wedding day, and it's a dry wedding. Apparently, the groom is 2 years sober. No one told us this, and we were admittedly bummed. We found out that there was no alcohol. We told people we were going to some bars after and not going to the after party. We left the wedding at 9:30 because we were itching to go out and the wedding was a bit boring. Pretty much the whole college crew left around that time and went out. Apparently the bride's friend group did not stay for the party. Grooms did, and the optics were very lopsided at the party. We all heard from the bride about this, and she called us assholes for leaving. She said that she didn't feel supported and felt like we were fighting her now husband for his sobriety. I told her that she was reading too much into it. We just wanted to go out. She is especially mad at me as I am looked as the ringleader of this outing. I don't think I've done anything wrong. Am I the asshole? Yes, you are the asshole. I understand you have kids and you want to get loose and you want to get out there. I understand you don't have time with your husband, but you leave your friend hanging. All because there is no alcohol? What kind of friend are you if you can't show your support for your friend on her wedding day, her most important day of her life, because there is no alcohol? You are the asshole. Sorry. On to our top comment. You're the asshole. That's some kind of crappy way to treat a friend. Basically, you all abandoned a wedding celebration, and I'm guessing she was looking forward to celebrating her wedding with her friends, hence you were invited. And it was a reasonable expectation of hers that you actually wanted to celebrate her marriage since you went. Honestly, you should go to weddings to celebrate and support the marriage of the friends and or family. Drinking should never be a necessity. Even if you are bummed out about the alcohol, celebrating and being happy for your friend would take priority over getting drunk. The last one. You're the asshole. I'm gonna get downvoted because people seem to hate dry weddings. But as someone with a partner in recovery, I will never understand why people can't go without it for one night to support someone you supposedly care about. You picked getting drunk over spending time with your friends, and that was our last comment. What are your thoughts on these 4 stories I brought you about weddings? What is your own experience? And if you have a story for me to read, don't forget to put it in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.